Quite often, we want to let it get vigorous like this. If you read through the lines in many of the master's work, they'll refer to as the recovery time. So what they do is to spend a lot of time shortening the needles, get it to the show, have that presentation, and then afterwards they let it grow back vigorously so it can maintain the vigor. Shortening of the needles actually weakens the tree. So a good presentation is a weakened tree. So what do we do? First thing you do is to cut off all the vigorous growth. So I could cut it here, but because I'll still have too much here, I'm going to cut it down at the base, like that. I got rid of all the extraordinarily strong candles, clusters. Now what I'm going to do is to go in and start working more detail. What I plan to do next is to cut back on the vigor of the secondary. See how this is very long? And then we can see a cluster of needles here. So if we cut here, they'll send out new candles and buds right here. So I'm going to cut it off here. Save all the ones that are like this, smaller. This one was too strong. So what I'm going to go do next is to remove all that was similar to that and then save only these. Okay, progress. I'm making some progress. I cut off a lot of branches. So what I'm going to be doing is to cut these needles short. And do the whole tree that way. And this is not to create that shortened needle look, but to weaken the tree more and get sunlight so we could get smaller candles or buds closer to the tree. So why is it so sloppy? Why doesn't he cut everything more precisely? Well, this is not the only tree I have. I have dozens in this state and I have hundreds on the way, not counting the thousands of other bonsai. So once again, do as I say, don't do as I do. Those of you that have the patience and or lack of numbers, you could prune these much more precise. I've seen some people where they got every one of the cuts so that they're absolutely perfect. And that's good. But for me, I had let it grow so that it got very vigorous, so that we had the health of the plant, and we got rid of the very big candles. And then we went to the secondary and got rid of most of those, especially the ones who were pointed up, and saving the ones going more horizontal. And then the final step on this one, I shortened the needles. Okay, to shorten the needles also weakens the tree. Weak tree make good finished bonsai in pine. The other thing is because I cut the needles, open it up, there will be new buds growing closer to our main and secondary branches, and then they will produce shorter candles, which will in turn have shorter needles. and it'll probably take another 3 to 5 years to get to that finish. But when you get that finish, it's weakened. It looks great, but it's weakened. That means that you have to go through this whole process again after you have completed this finished product. And that's the beauty of bonsai. It's never done. Those of you that like conclusion, you never show your trees with cut needles. This was only a step into completing this project so that it will have natural occurring short needles. So once again, never show your trees with cut needles. This is only one of the steps into making a finished product. So this tree will probably take 2, 3, maybe even 5 years before it's ready for a show or final presentation.